Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to KRSTV. This is your boy Kenny. Now remember, subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow all the information I have in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. Now, this is a commentary, a thoughts and commentary video that I'm doing on Dwayne Wade, interview, sit down with the Today Show, and Lil Boosie's response to Dwayne Wade talking about his daughter's Zaya, coming to terms with being transgender. And what ended up happening was that, as I mentioned before, Dwayne Wade was on the Today Show discussing his child, and that him coming to terms with accepting and loving his child unconditionally, and that they have already started calling his daughter Zaya, who was born, Zion. And I even seen a clip where Zaya was talking, and for a 12-year-old, Zaya is very intelligent, and she pretty much says that, she owns her authenticity, and that you're put in this world to be yourself. Why try to be something that you're not when you're put on this world to be who you are, which I definitely respect. So Dwayne Wade has, been publicly talking openly about, his now daughter Zaya coming to terms with her transgender, or not, more of her transgender process, and coming to terms with who she truly is. Well, Lil Boosie did this live on IG while he was at Planet Fitness, and he goes in, saying that, how can you do this shit, Dwayne? Like, how you gonna cut the boy's dick off? And he 12 years old, he don't know where his next meal coming from, and all of this stuff. Now, personally, I don't think Lil Boosie is homophobic, but I do think he's ignorant as hell, because just the verbiage and the things he was saying, it did come off very disrespectful. But I do understand what he's saying is that, but it just goes to show he's ignorant around the LGBTQ. But because he said that if your son gonna be gay, let him be gay, but don't be trying to change his sex. Don't be making him cut his thing off. And first of all, that was crass and a poor taste for you to even say that, because when it comes down to transitional surgery, that's a process. And it's a process for some people. It takes years before they actually have the surgery, because you got hormonal therapy, you got psychological therapy, you also have to go through physical therapy. Like, it's a lot that goes into transitioning, because it's a life-altering process, and it's something that doesn't happen overnight. And Zaya's only 12, and I will somewhat agree with Lil Boosie, like, you 12, but once you get older, things may change. Yeah, it may, and then again, it may not. But Zaya, based off the intelligence that I've seen, she knows who she is. So I don't see her changing. But I think it may take a while before she may go through the actual physical transition of having the surgery. But I think that's something that will be decided amongst Zaya and her parents. But the backlash that Lil Boosie received was that the manager from the Planet Fitness that he was at banned him from the premises. Now, we know that Planet Fitness are chains, so that chain is owned by that manager, and she refused to let him come to that gym. She banned him from it. And it's messed up. I mean, because personally, I don't think he should have been banned from the gym. But then again, you really have to be careful as to how you refer to the LGBTQ community, because there are LGBTQ people in high places. There are executives. They are businessmen. There are entrepreneurs. You know, a gay person can cut you, a person from the LGBTQ can cut you a check. You know, I corrected myself, just gay, because it's not just the gays. I'm talking about the lesbians, the gays, the trans, the bisexuals. You know, the ones who are questioning. They're everywhere. So you really have to be careful, you know, what you say and who you say it to. I mean, but personally, I don't think she heard him, but I think maybe somebody ratted on him to the manager that he was saying a whole bunch of these vulgarities and things. But personally, I just think that, you know, Lil Boosie, let this be a lesson that you need to educate yourself about the LGBTQ community. And you're not alone, Lil Boosie. The majority of the black community needs to educate themselves on the truth about sexuality and gender identity. That is not something you choose. You are who you are. And sadly, psychologically, we have been put in this glass jar like grasshoppers, because, you know, if you put like a grasshopper inside of a jar, the grasshopper is going to hop because it's used to hopping, and it's going to constantly hit that lid. And I think that's what's happened with the black community psychologically. We have been put in these jars, and we have just been told that sex is only between man and a woman, and that's only it, you know. And, you know, sex is only for recreation. And a lot of us have believed that phony philosophy. So even though now there's no lid on the jar, we're not jumping anymore, because we have been conditioned to accept what has been planted into us instead of using our minds to expand to see what the reality is, what the truth is. And the truth is sexuality is actually fluid, and so is gender identity. You know, and we need to learn to embrace each other as human beings first, importantly, but then also within our community as being a black man, because I only can speak for the black community, being a black gay man myself. We have to, as a community, realize that there's a vast amount of varieties to spice of life. So there's different ways of expression, and there's different ways of being, and we should no longer marginalize or dehumanize or ridicule or discriminate against people just because they're different. If we as a community want to be accepted, we have to start accepting each other and educating each other on the reality of what sexuality truly is, of what gender identity really is. And to the idiots who supposedly putting out there, we need a flag for straight people, you already have one. Yeah, there is a flag for heterosexuals. Just like there's a flag for the lesbians, there's a flag for the gays, there's a flag for the transgenders. You know, there's a flag for all of the sexual identities. So I don't want to hear that bullshit. I don't want to hear that anymore from these idiots who are ignorant and are weak because they feel threatened, and they say, oh, well, we need a flag for the straight people. We need our own flag. You already got your own flag. And if you were knowledgeable enough, you would know your flag already exists. The gays have their flag. The heterosexuals have their flag. There's nothing wrong with that. It shows that we're varieties, but when we come together, we can really make change. And I'm talking about us as black men and women. You know, of all gender identities, of all sexual orientations. You know, we have to stop this marginalizing and discrimination within our own community, because it's doing nothing but killing us. And no revolution will be possible until we understand that. Yeah, and that goes to Dr. Umar Johnson and many others with that philosophy. So, also, on March 21st, I will be holding a new event with the T-Zone called Let's Talk Sexuality, where we will be discussing in a roundtable, having a roundtable discussion around sexual orientation and gender identity. Also, the variety, the fluidity, the honesty, and health. You know, talking about sex in a realistic way. Stop making sex this thing that's so taboo that we gotta hide behind, you know, the closed doors, or, you know, hide in the dark, you know, when sex should be something that's celebrated. We're human beings. We all have sex. You know, regardless of what kind of sex you're having, that's totally up to you, or whatever your preference may be. But we're all having sex. So we should be able to openly talk about sex, but also talk about sex in a responsible way, in a respectful way, and also a way that liberates everyone involved. So that's what I have, y'all. Get down in those comments and let me know what you think about this whole situation with Dwayne Wade and his daughter Zaya, and also Lil Boosie's remarks to the situation. You know, get down in those comments and let me know your thoughts. And for those who are in the DMV, I will have the flyer to the next T-Zone event, you know, which is a part with Project Briggs, called the T-Zone Presents Let's Talk Sexuality. I will have the flyer. I will have the flyer at the end of this video, so definitely check it out. So until next time, everybody, take care.